Hey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NAQIUDDIN and I am about to presenting Ijarah Mawsufah al-Dhimmah, which is the forward list. The Islamic capital market is routinely tasked with raising billions to fund global infrastructure, power grids, transit network, and civil work. However, mobilizing this capital requires a strict adherence to the ethical and legal framework of Sharia. In traditional Islamic leasing, the foundational rule is strict. You cannot legally lease something that does not physically exist if the underlying asset isn't fully operational at the time the contract is executed. The lease is legally void. This creates an immediate constraint for greenfield infrastructure. Massive public works begin an empty lots or early foundation, yet require hundreds of millions to build. Financial engineers refers to this clash between the requirement for a tangible asset and the need to fund unbuilt project as a greenfield paradox. Under standard rules, these development sites are cut off from traditional Islamic capital. Building them requires a structural mechanism that moves past the existing asset restriction entirely. Solution relies on specialized contract called Ijarah Mawsufah al-Dhimmah. In capital market, this is translated as a forward lease or a lease based on specification. Rather than attempting to lease a non-existing physical building, the transaction pivots. The lease is executed against a clearly defined contractual liability. That liability, the Dhimmah, is the developer's binding obligation to deliver a highly specified asset to an exact date. By leasing the obligation rather than the concrete, originators secured and deploy funds during the initial, most illiquid stages of construction. The forward lease effectively translates the potential of unbuilt asset into a present-day, fully compliant flow of capital. This operates within the Malaysian Islamic landscape, which maintain one of the most rigorous regulatory environment for this instrument. Both the Securities Commission Malaysia and Bank Negara Malaysia explicitly authorize the forward lease as a valid underlying contract for issuing sukuk. The primarily under these regulatory authorities evaluate is Goror, the Sharia prohibition against contractual uncertainty. Selling or leasing an asset that does not yet exist typically triggers Goror, rendering the entire transaction void because the buyer cannot know exactly what they are getting. The regulators rule that if the future asset is explicitly and rigorously described in the contracts, the uncertainty is resolved. The validity of the contract hinges the replacing physical existence with the absolute descriptive precision. To achieve this precision and legally execute a forward lease, the agreement must rest on three mandatory structural pillars. The first pillar is unambiguous specification, mandating exact technical characteristics. The second requires predetermined lease tenure and rates, legally fixing duration and rental amount. The third pillar allow advance rental or ujrah maja'ala, permitting rent collection while the construction is active. If any one of these three pillars is missing, the structure collapses back into forbidden uncertainty, instantly nullifying the sukuk. In the capital markets, originators operationalize this by establishing a special purpose vehicle (SPV), which acts as the issuer of the sukuk certificates. The SPV pulls capital from institutional investors, directing it to the project company building the asset. Investors don't own physical brick. Instead, their capital purchase a proportional undivided shares in the complete project future benefits or usufruct. The SPV takes these income rental payments and distribute them, providing an immediate, reliable yield to the sukuk holders before the asset is even finished. These engineers are continuous present-day yield from a project that is still just a blueprint. Consider a real-world application. A Malaysian energy conglomerate needs 50 million for a new solar plant. The timelines include a 24-month construction window during which the physical solar panels does not exist on the site. Despite the empty site, the project company makes the structured advance rental payment to the SPV and the investor receive a consistent quarterly yield. The transition occurs on the day 1 of year 3,
when the solar panel is fully constructed, delivered, and plugged into the grid. At this exact moment, a legal metamorphosis takes place. The forward lease automatically converts into a standard operational Ijarah contract. The forward lease functions as a necessary legal intermediary during a greenfield phase, providing a direct pathway to a permanent agreement backed by tangible green energy generation. The primary vulnerability of this instrument lies in the operational failures. Financial engineers must stress test the structure against the risk of total non-delivery severe construction delays. If the maturity dates arrive in the builder fail to deliver an asset matching the predetermined technical specification, the mechanism breaks. Under Sharia law, the remedy is absolute. The forward lease contract is instantly rendered void. This places a heavy legal obligation on the lessor. They are required to fully refund every dollar of the advance rental collected back to the institutional investor. Islamic jurisprudence prioritizes structural justice and the protection of investor capital. If the asset is not delivered, then the rent cannot be retained. This liquidity comes with unforgiving financial penalties if the development fails. In the lift of capital market, a sudden forced refund of $50 million will cause immense disruption to stability. To prevent these contemporary issues, fortify the contract by wrapping this transaction in the third-party turnkey construction guarantees and the institutional performance bonds. This liquidity facility acts as a safety net. If a developer default, the external bond automatically trigger, ensuring investors are made whole and the strict Sharia requirement for refund are met. Ijarah Mawsufah fi Dhimmah serve a sophisticated solution to a highly specific problem of the timing and existence. Islamic financial engineering successfully integrates strict ethical jurisprudence with the immense capital demands required to build a global infrastructure. I think that's all from us.
Thank you and Assalamualaikum.